Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this Sunday edition of YouTube Live. Uh, Apologies for the 5 minute delay. Just had some personal work, so that's why I joined. I'll just put it on the Twitter. So, first of all, good evening. I hope all of you are having a wonderful weekend, and whatever is left of it, you enjoy. So now, you know what? Hi, everyone. Yes, the tea is ready. Ah, yes. Okay. So now a lot of people are joining in. So TCS, I think TCS clearly has shown that it's ready to move on already. The entire market is ready to move on. Cipla has been a strong stock in a strong sector. Both as consumer, I mean, I don't change my view in one day. I still believe it will go to all-time high. Biocon, I think, is at an all-time high. Remember what happened to Glenmark? It's already done up a lot, and I think on this news, I won't be surprised if again, I mean, it may not exhibit as kind of a volatility as Glenmark, but the issue is you can't chase stocks at all-time high which come out with positive news because someone knows already. That has always been my problem. So that's the whole point. Good evening, everyone. Now, you know what? If you see in this market, it was very interesting. Uh, if you see, for last 3 days, I've been talking about not extrapolating the trend because if you had extrapolated the trend, you would have, the market would have really chopped your head off. Chopped your head off because on 8th it would have been very easy to take home short positions, right? You saw what happened on the 9th with the kind of rally that the market gave you. On 9th, it would have been very tempting to take home the long positions. You saw what happened on the 10th. And on 10th, again, it would have been very tempting to take home short positions, especially in the bank nifty. But look at what happened to Dow futures, and there's a good chance that once again we have a good start. So the market's got itself into a nice little range now, and in that, buying the sharp dips and selling the sharp rallies is working. That was last week's story. This week, the market will have something other. My base case is that this is a market which now perhaps will take out the 200-day moving average, go to 11,000, cross it, and perhaps even make a move towards its all-time highs. Now, because the issue here is that I think almost everyone's calling for correction, and the call for correction is now hope for correction. रिलायंस के बारे में क्या बोलूं? रिलायंस के बारे में बस यही बोलूंगा कि स्क्रीन देखिए, कुछ हो रहा है यहाँ पर, एक वैल्यूएशन दे रहा है मार्केट। और मैं एक चीज हमेशा कहता हूँ कि अब एक रिलायंस जो है, अब मैं रिलायंस के ही चैनल, जिस कंपनी में मैं काम करता हूँ वो रिलायंस उसको ओन करती है, तो इसके लिए एक एथिकली मेरा ज्यादा रिलायंस के बारे में बोलना ठीक नहीं होता है, क्योंकि हालांकि ये सबसे बड़ा स्टॉक है, लेकिन मतलब एक मार्केट का व्यू देखिए, आप बहुत क्लियर है। शंकर शर्मा, कई लोगों ने कहा है कि मार्केट कैप यहाँ से भी काफी बढ़ सकता है, लेकिन आप अपने फाइनेंशियल कंसल्टेंट को पूछिए, से ज्यादा मैं कुछ कहूंगा नहीं। हाँ, SBI, will it move up? I think it looks like that. SBI should move up because there's something happening in the PSU bank. I think value stocks are beginning to make some kind of a comeback. So I think that could be the interesting thing going forward. Yes, FIs are selling. In fact, on Friday, both FIs and DIs sold. So it's very interesting that both FIs and DIs sold, but that's okay. The market, all these FI, DI, FI especially, they change their view. They would buy it 10,000 and sell it 7,700, and they're momentum chasers. This money is momentum chasing. If they spot momentum, they will chase it. So you should just not make any large, uh, you know, uh, large view based on just 1 days or 2 days move, because these things can change. If it becomes a trend, then obviously it's an issue. Now, F&O data is very interesting because the market was extremely overbought. Now it is still overbought, but what happened on Friday is that there was unwinding of 14,000 longs and build-up of 7,000 shorts on the index futures. There was unwinding of 8,000 longs and 11,800 shorts were added in stock futures. Call long was 9,500. Put long is 45,000. Index put long is 45,000. That is a massive put long. Call short 20,000. I think all this is telling you the market's ready to fly once again on Monday. I think I can take a call here that Monday the market will be up, and Monday the market will not only be up big time. So because the market's now seen enough shorts, and the market's ready to move on, I think Monday's easiest or the best risk reward trade would be to keep Friday's low as the stop. Also keep in mind Friday's low was higher than Wednesday low, so this market in some sense has made a higher low. So 10,668 to 10,713 sort of becomes your range, sacrosanct range. If you don't want to put 10,713 as a stop loss, place it a bit lower at 10,668. But the trade on Monday is on the long side, unless the market opens 100-point gap up. If the market opens 100-point gap up, then you have to wait for the market to give you a bit of a retreat. But the trade on Monday is on the buy side. That I have no doubt in my mind that the trade on Monday will be on the upside. So that is for sure. Because so many shorts have now come in, and now the market's not as overbought as it was. Uh, the put call ratio has also come down to slightly more, you know, same number. You can see my daughter in the background. So anyway, so all of this has happened. So I think the market's perhaps in for a bit of a move on Monday. That's my base case. As I said, 10,700 as a stop, and perhaps this time we make a move towards 11,000. And because if we have a third attempt at the 200 moving average, third attempt is normally the one in which the market takes out a crucial resistance or support mark. So this is what the market may do this time and take out the 10,900 mark. So that is the basic premise as far as the market is concerned. So this is what we discuss, all the data points. Having said all of that, let me give you another warning that this market is not for the faint-hearted, and it will keep giving you these massive intraday collapses and rallies. You be in this market, it's like it is like if it's like you're cooking a delicious meal in the oven, but you will get to eat it only if you are near the oven, which is you're in the kitchen. You can take the heat. If you can take the heat, you can eat the meat. Otherwise, you can't. Simple as that. That's the market rule. So if you can take it, sure, by all means, be in it. But if you can't, then stay out and perhaps eat your veggies. That's also good. So that's what the market's doing right now, and that's my base case as far as trade on Monday is concerned. Now let me take some questions because we've got a lot of questions now. So we will take some questions. Uh, where to find top 10 stocks? I present top 10 stocks every day on CNBC TV18 at 8:15. I don't put them on Telegram because this I mean just too much you know too much to do in terms of explaining, and that I think is better done while I'm on air. Hero Motocorp, you remember I've been positive on Hero ever since its Sensex exclusion. That was my top 10 stock. I think it was 2200 at that point, then it had that rally to 2800 thereabout. ITC has been having a decent run. It's clearly a value stock, and it's tested a lot of patience of a lot of people. So now it's trying to move on. And I think my sense is that ITC still has some good rally left in it. View on Yes Bank FPO. I think there's a bit of an arbitrage available here, but you be careful of ISIN number, etc. What you are selling. But look, the issue is with Yes Bank that it may not give you great returns, and obviously now Yes Bank has survived, so that point is clear. But Yes Bank may settle now in after the FPO in between 15 to 20 rupee bank. That may happen. So you want to take that call, you can take that call. There's a good chance of getting allotment because the retail quota is very high. So, but I tell you what, I think there are better stocks than Yes Bank. Frankly, why do you want to get into Yes Bank? The market is giving you so many opportunities. Why get into Yes Bank? Both BHEL and SAIL are very speculative stocks. They are those kind of stocks where if you get your days right, then on the days they come out of F&O band, for example, they start with a gap of 4 to 5%. You immediately buy calls because when you buy calls, your risk is limited, and you put the call price as a stop loss and put double the quantity of calls, twice or thrice it will become, and then you exit. I think that's a trade which has beautifully worked over the last few days on BHEL and SAIL. That on days they are out of F&O band and they start 4 to 5% higher, you start to buy calls. What should be a good stop loss for intraday trades? Tips for intraday traders, Chinmay. Chinmay, it depends on a lot of things. So, for example, on on Titan, for example, on that day when it came out with numbers, the stop loss was to see the first 5 minutes, see where the stock sort of made the top, and once it reversed, the day high as your stop loss. As simple as that. There are times when the stock's been in a narrow range, and you want to put previous day's low or high as a stop loss, because for example in Bajaj Finance you would notice that of late, of course, it's been a trending stock. In Bajaj Finance you would notice that if you uh, after the first 10 or 15 minutes, if you took a reverse trade with previous day's high or low as stop loss, that trade was working beautifully it was working. So it depends on if the stock is reversing on good or bad news, and that day's high or low becomes the stop loss. If the stock has been in a bit of a narrow range, then previous day's high or low becomes your stop loss. So that's what I would say as far as placing the stop losses are concerned. Never put monetary stop loss. Monetary stop loss is that a lot of people think that okay, I bought 5 lots, so you know at this price I would be losing 10,000 rupees, so that's my stop loss. That's the worst way of trading. If you want to put 10,000 rupees as stop loss, then buy as many lots where putting a logical stop would mean you would be losing 10,000 rupees. So buy 2 lots, don't buy 5 lots, so that you can put a logical stop loss. The stop loss should be the price at which your trade is wrong. The basic definition of a stop loss is a price at which you will say to yourself, I was wrong. So that is how you know you put stop loss. Havels again one of those stocks which is very expensive but never corrects. So that's a tough call to take, frankly. Motherson Sumi, I think Motherson Sumi is showing signs of some kind of a bottom at 97. I think 97, 96. I think the reorganization day low is a sacrosanct low. That's not breaking. And if that does not break, perhaps it will see a bit of a rally as well for all you know. Because you know what? The market may want to look at the event favorably as well if the stock's not falling a lot. Granules is a I think good stock, but there are better stocks available in pharma. Hero, ITC, BHEL, SAIL. I've given my views. Yes Bank, I've given my view. ITC, I've given my view. You can keep moving back. ITC, I've given my view. You can keep moving back. Info Edge, I have never understood this stock. It's a very speculative stock, and ever since it's come into F&O, it's a very illiquid for an F&O stock, so it moves a lot. NCC at 60, I think you got in perhaps on the way down when the stock was correcting, thinking that okay, it's fallen a lot. Uh, I think NCC is a good stock, frankly. Beyond a point, I think, and NCC has gone through this cycle once in the past. Normally, I would say that stocks that correct 75-80% do not come back. NCC has done that in the past once. So I think I would still give it the benefit of doubt. And let's see. It should not break the recent lows, though, the March lows. If it doesn't, then perhaps you stand a chance to recover your money. My view on HDFC AMC, it's one of the most expensive stocks I think you're better off looking at life insurance stocks like an HDFC Life or an SBI Life instead of AMC stocks, because AMCs are actually losing business to direct retail, whereas insurance is gaining ground. So I think that distinction has to be very clear. In fact, if HDFC AMC was available in F&O, I think I would have suggested a very simple pair trade of buying HDFC Life and selling HDFC AMC. So that's my view. Bank Nifty, I think Bank Nifty is due for a rally. It, what it did was it didn't break the 22,200 to 22,300 range, which was the congestion zone earlier on the way down. So I think there's a good chance that on Monday you have a decent rally on the Bank Nifty. On the Bank Nifty now, your sacrosanct stop loss is 22,200. Simple as that. Will the lockdown in Bangalore and Pune cause another crash? No, I don't think so. I think the market's moved on, and the market will keep moving on. And this lockdown will not mean much. Cipla, BEL target price. See, I don't give targets. I would say Cipla is a good stock. BEL, is a the only problem with BEL is it's still a very expensive stock. So that way, it's very expensive. Escorts is horribly expensive stock now, and it's too speculative. It moves up on 8 to 10% delivery volumes, keeps getting into F&O ban, has very low promoter holding. I am not comfortable with the move in Escorts. I know it's moving up, but I'm not comfortable. I mean, 3 years, 4 years back, I had suggested Escorts at 150. That those was different days. It's had a one-way move, and I think now, just, I just can't, tell people to buy Escorts at 1200. Frankly, I can't. So, Rudraksh, the best insight for new investor is to cut your losses as soon as you start to lose and let your winners run. That's the simple mantra. Please, follow it, and you will be very happy. Yes, spending time with the family, but it's okay. Half an hour on Sunday is nice. So, Uh, yeah, pharma, healthcare, it's already run up a lot, but I think there's still good stocks which can still go up 2, 3, 4x. Can we chase the market and buy side on Monday, Sachin? Not if it opens 100 points up. If it opens 20, 30 point up, yes. If it opens 70, 80 points, then perhaps wait for the first dip. Look, the idea should be to buy as close as possible to Friday's low or Friday's close, and put Friday's low as a stop loss. So that is the basic risk reward trade. Now, you decide whether you want to chase or not. You can buy 100 points higher as well, but then your stop loss would be 150 points. So do you want to take that trade? That is the call that you will have to take. I can't take that for you. So I don't know if the market is a bubble or not, but yes, the price earnings is very expensive now. Obviously, DMart. I think DMart had warned us already enough. I think I completely agree with what Mangalam has posted on his Twitter feed, even though he's been trolled for that. That it's a inline number, and I won't be surprised if 6 months down the line you see DMart at a new all-time high, and then we will talk. These kind of stocks don't get cheap beyond a point. There's always going to be scarcity premium in these stocks, and you will not get these stocks cheap. You'll always have to buy them expensive. So yes, Bank FPO have given my view. Bank Nifty have given my view. Housing finance. I think housing finance stick to the proven ones. HDFC obviously is the best of the lot. Canpin Homes has been doing remarkably well. I think that's the stock where company where numbers are clearly reflecting. Now on Monday, the stock that could fly could well be India's housing, which is coming out of F&O ban, but that's no recommendation. That's just to tell you the kind of market that we are in, and be careful. And since we're talking about home finance stocks, so that's why BHEL and SAIL have given my view. IRCTC, well, monopoly business, private trains, etc. I think it's a bit of a compounder. The only problem is it's run up a lot. So, it's the kind of stock where you want to perhaps do some kind of an SIP and see, how it goes. The only issue with these stocks is that you always think it's monopoly. What could go wrong? All it requires is one policy change, and things could change. But as of now, there's no reason to believe that there's going to be any kind of policy change on that. Bank of Baroda, I think it's a very poor stock, frankly, if you ask me. I mean, if you want to put money in any large private PSU bank, rather, I think it would be State Bank of India and not not anything else. Yeah, my daughters, they keep me sane. Let's just put it let me just put it that way. So that's all I would say. Jubilant food work. I think on Jubilant, this whole uh, Pizza Hut bankruptcy, etc. I think should be looked at positively because if Pizza Hut has to wind down, then which is the only other branded play which is left in India, it's Domino's. I have been to Domino's stores in the lockdown as well. They are doing a remarkable job. They're doing a remarkable job, and I think this strategy which the new management brought in of completely moving away from dine-in because dine-in especially in big cities requires a lot of rent and you don't make any money. So many waiters, so much real estate, renters, electricity bill, this that and all that. What they've done is they've moved to compact size stores where there's only takeaway or delivery. I think that's a great business, and I think Jubilant Food Works on every correction is a buying stock, frankly. Alok Industries, I won't talk too much on Alok Industries, because Reliance owns it now. So Bharti Airtel, I think Bharti is really, Bharti is become a bit of a trading stock. What you do is Bharti every time you buy it 540, because it's very clear the day it will break 600, it will go through a re-rating, and 800 900 is possible on Bharti Airtel. Bharti Airtel is headed to 2000 in the next 2 years. That is my view. But obviously, it won't happen in a hurry. But it's just extremely undervalued stock. I think it should do well. Arsenal versus Tottenham. Well, you all know I hate Arsenal, so anything but anyone can beat Arsenal, I'll be happy. So let's see. I think I will go with Tottenham. But you know what? Let's see. May the best team win. Uh, so, so that is what I would say on Bharti Airtel. So last 3 4 minutes, let's take some more questions. Retail stocks, I think retail stocks are doing well. They're beginning to change their business model. Most of them have realized that online is the way to go. So unless you own real estate yourself, running a brick and mortar real estate retail business in India is very tough. It's very tough. Albert David, sorry, I'm not studied, so I won't comment. Tata Chemicals, I think Tata Chemicals also has run up a lot. So Lotus Labs, I think a lot of smart investors have got into Lotus Labs. So that stock perhaps is in a good business and is going well. So Lara, I think I maintain my view. I still believe that it's a great valuation wise, great stock available at a decent price. So do consider your financial advisor if you're buying any of these stocks. So Avenue Supermart, I think I have explained earlier. I will explain again. Scarcity premium. I think you will soon see the stock at new high going forward. I have no doubt about that. Jindal Steel. Well, Jindal Steel is the kind of trading stock. If you get it right, you make a lot of money. You buy it and you put a stop loss of 5% and see how it goes. That's what you do with Jindal Steel kind of stocks. And if they do well, they would do really well. Vedanta, I'm not surprised, moved on after the Nifty exclusion. You'll remember the point I had made about Vedanta's Nifty exclusion and the rally that it would have after that. So I still stick to that. SRF, I think, is a beautiful stock. It's a stock which has generated so much returns. I think it looks like it's headed towards its all-time highs. Obviously, 24,000 on Bank Nifty July series, absolutely possible. In fact, I would go a step further and say that even 25,000 is possible. But let's take each step at a time. 24,000 for starters, perhaps, would be the good zone to look at. Okay, everyone, thank you so much. I tried to take as many as I could. Obviously, I would never be able to take all, but the endeavor will be to try to take as many as we can. And once in a while, we'll have longish Sunday sessions as well. So just like the one we did 2 weeks back, 1 hour session, we'll try for one more of that. Thank you so much. Have a good Sunday evening, and we'll see you in the market tomorrow morning and tomorrow evening on YouTube Live.